Well, hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for checking this out. I'm Emily Brown and I am an autoimmune health coach. I am here today because I wanted to address a very important topic, and that is the topic of nutrition. There's just a lot to explore when it comes to the topic of nutrition, so I won't go into a whole lot of detail here, but I wanted to share something just to kind of get you thinking about what you're eating, eating habits and patterns, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you. But one of the questions that I come across and I see on the World Wide Web quite often is around what should be eliminated from your diet when you have an autoimmune condition. Now there are different theories, different schools of thought on what should be eliminated. One thing is for sure, and that is there are certain foods that are known, food allergens, that are known to be contributors to autoimmune related issues like leaky gut, not being able to properly digest food, not being able to properly extract nutrients from your food. So symptoms like that. So if you are malnourished, oftentimes people don't even know that they are malnourished, but your body can kind of tell you and gives you signs as to whether you are getting enough nutrients through your food or you're not. And I may be preaching to the choir. You may already know, like, okay, I know I need to do these things already, but there are a lot of people out there, whether you've been newly diagnosed with an autoimmune condition or you've had one for a while, but you've suspected that food can be a culprit for you. So for those people, I hope this is helpful. But some of the things that we know that are some known food allergens are gluten, dairy, corn, shellfish, and certain types of plant foods like tomatoes and eggplants. Also cruciferous foods that include broccoli. Things like that could be contributing to your autoimmune symptoms. I know for me, and it took me a while to figure this out actually, but I was diagnosed with my first autoimmune condition over a decade ago. And it wasn't until 3 or 4 years in that I started to understand the connection between what I ate and how I felt. And it was just persistent. I also felt really, really tired a lot, to the point where I just wanted to just sleep. And especially if I ate certain foods, I just wanted to take a nap afterwards, which, sometimes is common, like if you eat a big meal, it kind of just sits in your stomach and it creates some lethargy there. But this was different. I knew it was different. Issues like that were coming up for me and I just didn't know what was going on because at the time I was on medication. I was very compliant with what the doctors were telling me I needed to do in terms of taking my medication. So I knew it wasn't that. But I started to suspect that it was something else. And that's when I started to search the internet, like we all do, right? And I learned that there was something that could be causing or contributing to my symptoms. And it was this thing called gluten. And of course, now gluten-free is everywhere. A lot of people are gluten-free, so it's not very uncommon now. But back then, it really was. At least for me, it was. And so I educated myself on what gluten is, and it's actually this protein. It's like a sticky protein that's found in wheat products like bread and flour, things like that. So I decided I was going to do an elimination diet, and that includes essentially eliminating, well, like what it says, eliminating that food from your diet to see if it does in fact help you feel better. And I kid you not, I had made a lemon pound cake on a Saturday when I had, I was doing some reading on gluten, made a lemon pound cake on a Saturday. It was a weekend. It's clear as day in my head right now. And I remember reading that and just immediately I decided, like, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to stop eating gluten, which means I cannot eat this lemon pound cake. And I love me some lemon pound cake. I decided I wasn't going to eat it anymore. And just to see if it was going to help me. And, from what I had read and some case studies and anecdotal evidence that a lot of people saw results from this, I was like, I got to try it because I just cannot keep living like this. Well, lemon pound cake aside, the next day I was completely gluten-free because earlier that day I did eat something gluten. So I was like, Sunday, cold turkey, let's do this. I did it, and within 3 days, I saw significant improvement in how I felt, and my mood lifted. I wasn't tired like I wasn't grumpy like I used to be. That some of the digestive problems, I had persistent headaches, those went away, and it was like a miracle. My prayers had been answered. So I know that this is such a vital and critical part of the healing journey, is looking at what foods in your repertoire that may be causing you some problems. So, there are some great replacements that you can do nowadays. There's so many different options if you do decide to go gluten-free. And I'm not saying they're all the most healthiest options, but at least it gives you an opportunity to replace your formerly gluten-free dishes, gluten dishes, with some gluten-free options like pasta. There's gluten-free pasta now. There's gluten-free breads. There's like 3 or 4 different brands of gluten-free bread to choose from now. There's gluten-free flour. So if you're like me, you're from the South and you bread stuff, there are gluten-free options for that as well. And again, choosing healthy is always the best option, but at least, you have some alternatives out there that you can look to start to see if, in fact, there are certain things in your diet are causing your symptoms, those most aggravating symptoms. So, and of course, healthy, like I said, is always the best way to go. So why not replace some of those dishes that you might normally eat with just a salad, without the croutons, of course, but a salad, maybe eating more fruit, maybe eating some, good quality protein, and so there's so many different ways to go about this that are going to really infuse you with the nutrients that your body needs to continue on your healing journey and to resolve a lot of the autoimmune symptoms that you are experiencing. Well, I hope this video was useful. If you did find it helpful and useful and you want more content like this or more content from me, please go ahead and subscribe so that you can check out the next video whenever that one will be. And also give me a thumbs up if you approve of this video. And if you have an idea for a future topic that you'd like for me to cover or explore, go ahead and submit your comments below and I'll definitely check those out. But until we see each other again, friends, be happy, be whole, be well.